You open Samsung Health to check your sleep data from last night, but there's a new notification waiting. Agree to let Samsung train artificial intelligence on your health records, or the app will delete everything. No middle ground. No time to think about it. Just choose, delete, comply, or lose access completely. This isn't some theoretical privacy threat anymore. This is Samsung, one of the world's largest electronics manufacturers, essentially holding your personal health data hostage. And it's happening right now to millions of users worldwide. Samsung Health isn't an obscure app. It's built into hundreds of millions of Samsung devices. Phones, watches, tablets. Users trust it with intimate data, sleep patterns, heart rate, stress levels, workouts, menstrual cycles, medication logs, everything that makes health data sensitive and personal. The company frames this cleverly. They call it an opt-in for AI features. But here's the catch. If you opt out, the consequence isn't just no AI features. It's total data destruction. That's not choice. That's coercion dressed up in corporate language. What makes this matter isn't just Samsung's behavior. It's what it signals about the future of AI training and user consent across the entire tech industry. If Samsung pulls this off successfully, what's stopping Apple, Google, and Meta from doing the same with your photos, your email, your location history? And here's what the headlines aren't telling you. This move might actually violate data protection laws in multiple countries, and the fallout could reshape how tech companies handle AI training consent forever. To understand Samsung's move, you need to understand the artificial intelligence race that's consuming every tech company right now. Every major manufacturer, Apple, Google, Meta, Amazon, is building AI that runs on your personal data, and they need massive amounts of that data to train their models. Samsung looked at the competition and realized they were falling behind in personalized health AI. They don't have the health data empire that Apple has built through years of health kit integration. They don't have Google's decades of fitness tracking, so they made a calculated decision. They'd ask for it directly. Internally, Samsung's pitch is attractive. They're offering users real value, AI wellness coaching, predictive health alerts, personalized recommendations based on your unique biometric patterns. Imagine your phone learning that you sleep worse after late-night caffeine, then automatically warning you when it detects that pattern. That's genuinely useful stuff. But here's where Samsung crossed a line that other companies have been too cautious to cross. They didn't just ask for permission. They made the permission mandatory by attaching a penalty to refusal. Think of it like a store manager saying, "We'll give you a discount card that tracks your purchases to improve our service. But if you refuse to let us track you, we're erasing your entire purchase history and voiding your rewards." That's not an offer. That's blackmail wrapped in convenience language. Samsung's decision signals something darker. They are testing whether they can get away with it. And if they do, every other company watching is going to ask themselves the exact same question. The technical mechanism is simple, but the psychological pressure is enormous. When you launch Samsung Health after the update, you get a pop-up, not a gentle notification, a pop-up that blocks the app until you make a choice. Option 1, enable AI features. That means Samsung gets to feed your health data into their machine learning pipeline. Every sleep cycle, every heartbeat anomaly, every stress spike goes into Samsung's servers to train their algorithms. You stay in the app. Your data gets used. Option 2, decline and delete. That's where the coercion kicks in. If you refuse AI training, Samsung immediately wipes your account. 3 years of sleep data, 2 years of workout logs, all gone, no recovery option, no export your data feature first, just deletion. Option 3, stop using Samsung Health. You can refuse and keep the app, but you lose access to all historical data and can't use any features going forward. What makes this particularly insidious is the asymmetry. Samsung spent years building trust by letting users accumulate health data in the app. That data has genuine value. Users depend on the historical records. Now they are weaponizing that accumulated trust to force a consent decision. It's the digital equivalent of a hostage negotiation. We have something you value. Give us what we want, or we destroy it. So what does this look like in practice? Let's walk through a real scenario. Sarah is a runner who's been tracking her workouts in Samsung Health for 4 years. She's got detailed records of every run, her average pace, her personal records, her progression over time. That data matters to her. It's proof of her fitness growth. Samsung sends her the update. The pop-up appears. Sarah reads the AI training consent request and thinks, I don't want Samsung training AI on my health data. That's personal. So she clicks decline. Within seconds, all 4 years of records are gone, permanently. Sarah lost her fitness history to protect her privacy. Then there's Marcus, a 62-year-old with a heart condition who's been monitoring his resting heart rate through Samsung Health for 2 years. His data actually matters. He shares the trends with his cardiologist during appointments. Marcus sees the pop-up and faces an impossible choice. He can either let Samsung train AI on his cardiac data or lose the records he uses for medical purposes. In Marcus's case, he chose compliance. He agreed to AI training just to keep the data intact. But now his most sensitive health information, data revealing his heart condition, is being fed into Samsung's machine learning pipeline. Then there's Jennifer, a mental health advocate, who refused to comply and demanded to export her data first. Samsung's customer service told her the export feature isn't available if you've already declined. Here's what makes Samsung's approach so shocking. Other tech companies have figured out how to ask for permission without weaponizing deletion. Apple does something similar. They ask users to consent to sharing health data with researchers and health apps. But if you say no, the app still works. You keep your data. Apple just doesn't use it for training. The choice is clean. You get features or you don't. You keep your privacy and your data. Google has taken the same approach with Fitbit and Google Fit. They collect fitness data, they ask for AI training consent, but refusing doesn't trigger data destruction. It's a genuine opt-in system. Meta's approach with health data has been more aggressive, but even they haven't weaponized the deletion of existing records. They've pushed for data sharing, sure, but they haven't said, give us your data or we erase what you already have. Samsung's move is unprecedented precisely because it inverts the normal consent model. They're not saying you can choose not to share. They are saying you must choose to share or lose everything. In legal terms, it's the difference between an opt-in system where you actively choose to participate and what Samsung's doing, which is an opt-out system with a devastating penalty for opting out. Consent under duress isn't consent, it's coercion. When you compare Samsung to Apple, Google, and Meta side by side, you see that other companies found ways to pursue AI training without crossing into hostage-taking territory. Samsung just decided the aggressive play was worth the risk. Samsung's strategy is almost certainly illegal under multiple privacy frameworks, and the company might be learning that the hard way right now. Under GDPR, the European Union's privacy regulation, consent has to be freely given. There's no asterisk that says, unless you're also destroying the user's data. The moment you attach a penalty to refusing consent, you've made that consent coerced. The regulation explicitly forbids this. Violators face fines up to 4% of global revenue. For Samsung, that's potentially billions of dollars. California's privacy law, the California Consumer Privacy Act, has similar protections. Users have the right to delete their data, sure, but companies can't penalize users for exercising their privacy rights. Using deletion as leverage to force AI training consent is exactly the kind of retaliation the law prohibits. Then there's Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia, all of which have passed or are passing privacy legislation with similar restrictions. Samsung's move violates the spirit and probably the letter of these regulations worldwide. What makes this even more dangerous for Samsung is the precedent factor. If they get away with this, every other company with user data is going to try the same thing. Your email provider holds your emails hostage for AI training consent. Your cloud storage does the same with your photos, your calendar app, your messaging app. Pretty soon, every app you use is leveraging historical data as a weapon. That's not just bad for privacy. If you use Samsung Health, here's what you can actually do in this situation. First option, export your data before Samsung forces the choice. If you haven't updated yet, go into Samsung Health settings, find the data export option. It's usually buried under privacy or account settings, and download your health records as a file. Do this before you update the app. Once Samsung pushes the consent pop-up, the export feature disappears. Second option, use a different health app. Apple Health is built into every iPhone. If you're on an Android device, Google Fit is free and competitive. Fitbit works across platforms. Strava for running, MyFitnessPal for nutrition, Sleep Cycle for sleep tracking. Don't depend on any single app as your health data repository. Third option, if you've already been forced to choose and you refused, your data is already deleted. But here's the thing, you can start fresh with a new app right now. Your fitness journey doesn't end because Samsung deleted your history. The new app becomes your new baseline. Fourth option, if you're in the European Union, the United Kingdom, Canada, or California, you can file a complaint with your Data Protection Authority. The organizations called the ICO in the United Kingdom, CNIL in France, ACT in Spain, or the California Attorney General. Tell them Samsung is coercing you into AI training consent by threatening to delete your data. These authorities actually investigate, and Samsung's going to get hit with formal complaints. Here's what this Samsung situation reveals. The battle over AI training consent isn't theoretical anymore. It's happening right now in apps you're already using with data you thought was yours. Samsung's strategy, coerce users into AI training consent by threatening to destroy historical data, is a test. They are testing whether they can get away with it. They are testing whether the regulatory bodies will actually enforce privacy laws. They are testing whether users care enough to switch apps. If Samsung wins this gamble, you'll see the same playbook in your email, your photos, your location history, and literally every other app that stores personal data. The hostage-taking model will become industry standard. But here's what matters for you right now. Your data is not automatically safe just because an app claims to protect it. You need to treat every app that stores personal data as potentially temporary. Export your records, maintain backups, don't accumulate years of critical data in any single platform that you don't directly control. The larger point is this: AI training on personal data doesn't have to work this way. It doesn't require coercion. It doesn't require hostage-taking. Apple, Google, and others have shown you can build useful AI while respecting user consent. Samsung just chose the aggressive path instead.